Assalamu alaikum all, and today I'm going to be talking about how much halal money do you need to retire. Now this is something I've been thinking about as I get older and older. I'm like in my 40s now, so not too long to go inshallah before retirement, even though we're talking about potentially 20 odd something years, but it's something I know that I need to think about at a young age. And how much will I actually need to retire, and how can I build up that amount of money? So welcome to Simple Muslim Money, which is all about simple halal investing and personal finance for Muslims. Now, just a quick disclaimer, everything I say here is just for information and entertainment purposes. It is not financial advice. So let's get into it. How much do you need to retire? Now, it's something I've been thinking about for a long time. Do I need 100,000, 200,000, 300,000? These are sound like astronomical numbers. I had no idea. So I thought, let me look at some calculations and what advice there is out there. So I saw a lot of things out there, but one of the easiest ones for me to understand is the 4% rule, which some of you may have heard about it before, where you have a certain amount invested. So you have like a big pot invested, and what you do is you aim to live off about 4% of that amount, which is kind of a conservative number because it's assuming that this pot will grow at least 4% every year. So you're kind of not hitting the capital, which is like a bit of an interesting idea. So you still do have that capital in there, and that could potentially still be growing as well, probably more than 4%. So the best way to explain it is by some examples. So I've just got here listed some values. So 4% of 100k is 4,000 a year, which isn't probably enough in the UK anyway to kind of live off for a whole year. And then with 200k it goes up to 8k, 300k goes up to 12k a year. So still okay, still a certain amount. But when you hit 500k, it's £20,000 a year you kind of can pull out as 4%. And when you get to 1 million, it's £40,000 a year, which sounds like more realistic, which sounds like a amount that you need. Now, the thing is, for me, this sounded like crazy. Like, how many people actually have that much money in their pension or their savings or whatever? It just sounds almost like too big. And most people I've spoken to are just like local friends and people like that. A lot of people aren't kind of thinking about the pensions like that at the moment, or how much money they need to save. So it wasn't great for me to hear about how much the 4% does give you. So this then kind of led me to, what should I do? It made me think about, how can I invest and grow some money, in my pension? I want to try and increase that amount. And hearing about this 4% rule wasn't really kind of good for me. So how much should I actually put into my pension? Now, this is a tricky question because the money that you put into the pension is kind of locked in there until you come out of retirement. So, and I need to, be wary of that. I need to spend money for just everyday living, spend money for my family and things like that. And one thing I do want to make absolutely clear is that pensions are amazing and something that we should be singing about, at the top of the rooftops, and I think that's the right expression, But once your money is in there, you can't take it out until you're retired. But it is definitely something I believe, we should do and kind of invest in. And it's just, if you just look at all the research out there, it seems like something that a lot of people recommend. Now, just because your money is locked in there doesn't mean that pensions are bad. They are amazing and everyone should be using them, as I've already kind of mentioned. And the main reasons for that is because of the tax advantages you get in pensions. You have some really good tax advantages, and I've kind of spoken about them in my other videos that I'll make sure to kind of link. So what is my actual plan for my pension and my retirement? So I'm going to explain the steps below. So first of all, I'm going to look into increase my pension payments. Now, even by a small amount, it can still take a big effect in 10, 20 years. So that's something I definitely want to do, because you get a lot of tax relief. And if I can just increase my pensions in by, I don't know, £50, £100, whatever it is per month, that will still add up over the long course. So that's something I need to think about. Another thing I've been looking into is about getting more frugal, which I'm kind of doing at the moment. So it's just something I got from this book I read called The Millionaire Next Door. And it's something that, I'll definitely be sort of doing a video about at some point. And I heard Tai Kim, the financial tortoise, talk about it. And just about being a bit more aware of where I'm spending money. I've been spending money on some stuff that, some restaurants that have just been really bad or not that great, really, to be honest with you. So I'm kind of a bit more aware of things like that. So let me just be a bit more wary of how much money I have, where I'm spending that money. And I still want to build my emergency fund. It's a bit low at the moment because we spent quite a bit of money on just things in the house, and We had to get a car as well, which was an unexpected expense just because our car wasn't doing so good. And yes, I still need to kind of build up that emergency fund money just because I just want that comfort buffer, and something Dave Ramsey talks about as well. I really like Dave Ramsey's stuff. And I'm still going to like invest regularly just in my ISA, because the money in my ISA I can pull out earlier before retirement. So that's why I still want to kind of add money to that. There's some tax advantages in that kind of growing, but it's not as good as a pension. We get a lot more tax relief. And yeah, something to definitely kind of think about. So, I definitely want to try and increase some money there as well. But this also made me think about me setting up some sort of business to bring in more income. So obviously there's only a certain amount of money I can save at the moment just because of my salary, but are there other side businesses and things I can do to kind of bring in more income? So definitely like doing YouTube and stuff like that is something that'd be amazing if I could bring a bit of income from that as well. So that's something I definitely want to do and think about. So still very early days. There might be some other sort of business. I've done a few other sort of businesses in the past, but yeah, if I could kind of increase my income and get a bit more money and try and put that into my investment and my pensions, that could potentially make a massive difference, over the course of 10, 20, 25 years. So yes, something I'm definitely kind of thinking about and really need to kind of just make a few adjustments and see how it goes. Now, I'm not going to be perfect. I'm just going to kind of see how it goes, adjust, learn. And I think that's the real kind of important thing that I want to kind of put out in this message. So yeah, just want to say thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please smash that like button. It really helps with the algorithm and helps kind of spread this video around. And yeah, just want to say assalamu alaikum until next time.